Kurt Angle has been retired since 2019, but ever since then, he regret having his retirement match with Baron Corbin in 2019. He wanted to have a match with John Cena, but WWE said that they can't get John Cena in 2019. It was rumored that he's gonna have one last match at this year's WrestleMania, and Chad Gable would be a perfect guy for his final match. It would kind of be a passing of the torch match, so it would make Chad Gable a huge star, and it could very well match for Kurt Angle. But yeah, let's book all of this. So yeah, it's gonna start the Raw after the Royal Rumble. Kurt Angle is gonna make a surprise appearance and announce that he's coming out of retirement on Monday Night Raw. Says that he's really eager to get back in the ring again, but before Kurt Angle could say anything, Baron Corbin comes out and says that you shouldn't be here. I retired your ass. And then Chad Gable also comes out and shushes everyone. He says that if there's a man in this company that should have his last match with Kurt Angle, it should be Chad Gable. So later that night, we see Baron Corbin versus Chad Gable. The winner of that match, that's a WrestleMania retirement match against Kurt Angle. Chad Gable picks up the win from Baron Corbin. The next week, Alpha Academy comes out and talks shit about Kurt Angle. He says that he's coming out of retirement just to have a high profile match with someone like Chad Gable is despicable. He says that Kurt Angle is irrelevant and no one cares about him anymore. So Chad Gable thinks that the only reason why Kurt Angle came out of retirement is because to have a good match with the Olympic gold medalist Chad Gable. Chad Gable's ego has been through the roof and he's been talking crap and he's been making Otis fight his battles for him. The next week we got a pre-recorded video from Kurt Angle in the gym. He says that he's getting ready for his match. He's gonna humble Chad Gable, gonna make sure that he retires with the win. Kurt Angle says that he's gonna be in the Raw Arena in 2 weeks, so this gives time for Chad Gable to plan some devious activities. So what Chad Gable does is that he kidnaps Kurt Angle's daughter, and then after the 2 weeks, Kurt Angle is on Raw. He's ready to go face to face with Chad Gable, but Chad Gable's nowhere to be seen. We see a pre-recorded video on the big screen, and it's Chad Gable and Otis, and then Kurt Angle's daughter tied on a chair. Kurt Angle is furious. The first thing he did, he didn't even say a word, didn't even react. He went right to the backstage area to find wherever the hell Chad Gable is. He screams to Chad Gable to tell him where the fuck he is, but Chad Gable doesn't tell Kurt. I mean, obviously. Eventually, Kurt Angle found Chad Gable backstage and beat the living shit out of him. We saw a side of Kurt Angle that we never saw before. Tables were broken. The man put Chad Gable in an ankle rock and everything. Kurt Angle gets his daughter and leaves Monday Night Raw. Both Chad Gable and Otis are laying on the floor. We don't see any of them for a few weeks. They're written off of TV because they got injured because of Kurt Angle. So now the Alpha Academy are back after a few weeks. Chad Gable and Otis have a match against the Usos because the Usos haven't defended their tag team titles in a long time. Adam Pearce luckily chose Alpha Academy to give them a free tag team championship opportunity. The Alpha Academy failed to become tag team champions and go home empty-handed. It's 2 weeks before WrestleMania and Kurt Angle hasn't been on Raw for a few weeks now. Chad Gable calls him out, and surprisingly, Kurt Angle was in the Raw arena and he comes out. He says that Chad Gable is a failure, and Chad Gable says that Kurt Angle is a Chad Gable wannabe. He says that you're not this generation's Kurt Angle. Matter of fact, you're nothing like me. Chad Gable doesn't have anything to say, but Otis does. So now Chad Gable stopped talking because Otis interrupted Chad Gable and said Otis wants a match with Kurt Angle. Now Kurt Angle is not ready to compete. You know, he's gonna be only working a WrestleMania match. So Kurt Angle turns down the challenge. This makes Kurt Angle look like a coward, but it's kind of a good decision because what if Otis injures Kurt Angle ahead of the match? That's not good. You know, so Kurt Angle made the right decision, and the last week before WrestleMania, it's war. Every single person has a WrestleMania match on Raw are brawling their asses off around the arena, but that's the last time they meet before WrestleMania. But, you know, yeah, it's finally time for them to have the big match. Both men came out to the stage and they went at it. It's ankle lock after ankle lock after ankle lock. Both these men are trying to submit their opponents. There's major trash talk by Chad Gable. He wants to put Chad Gable in his place, aka the retirement home. Chad Gable gets an ankle lock on Kurt Angle, but Kurt is fading. He realizes that he can trick Chad Gable. What Chad Gable does is that he does a double tap to make Kurt Angle think that he tapped out, but then in reality didn't tap out. So Chad Gable sees a double tap, but the ref doesn't end the match because that was perfectly legal. Now Kurt Angle gets an ankle lock. Chad Gable does a double tap. Now Kurt Angle doesn't fall for that trick again, and Chad Gable taps out. Kurt Angle wins his WrestleMania match. He wins his retirement match, and his final match against an Olympic gold medalist, he wins. The torch has been officially passed. The rivalry has been settled, both men shake their hands as a sign of respect, and Chad Gable is actually being cheered now and is a babyface. Kurt Angle celebrates his major win with the Alpha Academy. That is how it ends. So basically what happens is that Chad Gable and Alpha Academy feud, and then, you know, the torches pass, Alpha Academy become babyface, because I feel like they do need a change now, and then them becoming babyfaces would do good, because they have talent, and you know, it's really nice. I really wish this would happen at WrestleMania. I hope it does. Chad Gable vs Kurt Angle as a retirement match. I hope it happens. But I will see you guys in the next episode. The next episode will be Pat McAfee versus Wade Barrett. I see you guys in the next episode. Yeah, so.